What a TI
some
3, I
next
think.
level shit right there.
Dude, well, they're like flying over the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do it with.
If really got to have your combination gaming ready. All right, Ben, we hop into it. Game number 1 of this best of 3. The Ninjas in Pajamas taking on Vega Squadron. We'll have Yonasamfan playing the off-lane Tusk. It'll be Hanskin on the Wyvern. Era on the safe lane, 1 position Storm. Limp playing the 2 in the mid lane on the Shadow Fiend. And that does leave Seal Kid as the Keeper of the Light. Looks like for now he's heading towards the mid lane. As for Vega, we've got Solo on the Visage. Pasha going to be playing the PL as the early Mango pickup. No one. The Lina. Sioma the Slayer on the Lion. And that does leave Mag as the Darkseer.
A little bit of an unusual build from the Shadow Fiend. He's like kind of committed to a stats build, but kind of committed to a bottle build. It's the halfway in between with the 360 gold left. You want a decent amount of base damage, but most people get the Wraithman because it's really good value. And they don't actually have a good roamer to kill the chicken with, so I'm a little surprised that he didn't go for... He didn't commit one way or another. But
either just like straight bottle rush or straight damage.
It's a little risky because if you don't have a good start, you'll get your bottle way after 2, at which point you would have been better off getting the Wraith Band. But with this build, you'll get your bottle around like 130, 140 if it's if you're doing decently, and it'll be just... You'll have like just the right amount of gold to get the 2-minute rune and make use of your bottle. Generally, if you do go for a Wraithman build, you'll get your bottle after 2 minutes.
Well, let's see how quick the bottle time will end up being. Vega did get aggressive here with the warding. Early on, blocking off the Shadow Fiend's camps. We will see NiP looking to control and defend their own jungle. They also block off the safe lane pole.
Oh, wow.
Brave Chills to run away.
The off-lane Storm Spirit sing the lanes. It's really smart.
So they get the 1v1 matchup, which you mentioned is
they really
pretty good for Storm.
You really want that matchup because none of your other heroes can handle it really well.
Seal Kid will be successful in his first D ward here. Now, I'm curious, Ben, because I was casting with Winter, and he says he actually prefers not blocking the camps when you're up against these like jungle cores, but more just getting vision of the stacks and then trying to steal.
It depends on what you're doing. If you're offensive try, you should definitely not block it because you can just use it for yourself. Like a lot of the times when people have really weak lanes, they'll creep pull behind the tower, and then you can just take the tower down and get jungle experience at the same time. And if you block it, you don't have that option. So
no, I mean even for like this one, like the big camp over
the big camp.
His reason is like then it's not that big of a deal if they don't get their stacks, but it's a huge deal if you steal it.
It's hard to steal it though, especially for Shadow Fiend who can just triple raise it. I think maybe not versus a Shadow Fiend, like if you're versus a Storm who takes much longer to do it. I think it's a good idea, but versus a Shadow Fiend, I think it's. So
this looks to be our first blood.
Yeah, that was easy.
Just living up to his name, and unfortunately not the hero to get away with it. The power of the Keeper of the Light Tusk dual lane.
Yeah, Winter Wyvern actually moving top a little bit to help out this matchup versus the Darkseer. Darkseer utilizing the pool. Darkseer, safe lane, Dryer, pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I think versus Shadow Fiends.
If it's someone who takes longer to clear
50-50.
it, then you think maybe that's a more viable strategy.
Yeah, or if you have like a bounty hunter or something who can generally like be there without being detected. But generally, like, how is Alina going to get there without dying? Like, she'll just get snowballed and just die, or Stormspeeder can just zip on her and die. Like, there's so few
you need the right
plans.
heroes to make it work.
You need the right heroes, and it needs to be versus the right heroes.
Okay.
And you need to have a good early game. That's why I like, what if you lose the early game and then they just take their stacks? Then you just completely waste.
Yeah. Then you're in a pickle.
It's almost always safer to just block it.
Well, Sioma going in onto Limp mid lane, but little does he know, a Winter Wyvern waits a reserve. Unfortunately for Limp, the Lina stun connects. Follow-up Slave is there. One more auto tech would have done the job. Narrowly missing his Handskin. Continues pursuit on Sioma. Snowball coming from long range. Will find it with the shards. Easy pick for Yonasamfan.
See, this is what happens when you try and invade the opponent's jungle. Like, imagine if they didn't have the ward over there and it was stacked, and like you're trying to go into the jungle. That's like so much deeper than the T1 tower that you just can't leave it unscathed. Lina always pressures the lane 2 and mid, so you'll know if they're doing the stack.
Well, good news, I suppose, for Vega. Even though they're down 2 kills here, they are really dominating in terms of the lane farm early on. All 3 cores, 15 plus CS. Darkseer getting a couple of neutrals, I believe, but Overall, definitely in the lead there, and as a result, gold still even, though. NiP now pull ahead a decent chunk here in terms of experience.
Yeah, they're not limiting PL's farm at all, which is pretty scary. But they are limiting Visage's farm, which I think is pretty important because he's their scaling core that they want to actually do stuff later. If Lion and Visage are both broke near the end of the game, then Keeper is going to outscale them very easily with the Scepter and just be far more useful. We can't see Illuminate.
Uh-oh.
Huh.
Just reborn things, I guess?
I think I saw it.
Oh, yeah, we're seeing it. Let me see.
It bugs sometimes. Tell me something that I don't know. Hands good. Reborn being buggy? No way.
Coddle animation sometimes becomes stuck in the Illuminate pose. That does not sound like the bug.
So Air is actually getting really good experience on top lane, even though Winter Wyvern is absorbing some of the experience. So that's bad for the Darkseer. They also had that really good ward set up early with an early TP on Tusk.
Yeah, they're getting away with the offlane Storm. So they have to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, but they're giving PL a lot of farm as a result.
Oh, Pasha takes heavy damage bottom lane. Not quite enough for the kill. I think he was forced to pop the mango there and had to level up the Doppelganger. Had been holding the skill point. As Syoma begins to make his move, Limp will start painting out the neutrals. Identifies that it's blocked. Has not begun stacking at all yet.
Chicken scouted him out. He is... Looks like he's going to be done for.
Hello, buddy. Raise number 1. Stuns, runs the other way. The Wyvern slowly ticking him down. And while that was happening, they got the kill on the Visage bottom, as it looks like also the Phantom Lancer back to base.
Kill him!
He's coming. The jukes! The jukes! Going the other way. Cue the Benny Hill music. Can Limp catch him? Can he cut him off here? Let's see. Sayoma into the trees. They have no idea, Ben. He's completely flustered them.
And blocked the 5-minute spawn.
Oh, and he got the value block.
Now they see him, though.
Space created.
They saw him with the Observer Ward. He might die after all his efforts.
No, they're going to let him go. Had the raises on cooldown for Limp.
He
got away with murder.
He's constantly just...
Look at, this is Lion. This is not like a Spirit Breaker or Tusk or something. 1 armor, had 380 health on his little forage into the enemy woods.
So Keeper's actually following around the Phantom Lancer, it looks like, to just constantly push him out of lane and make his life miserable. Keeper even went Arcane Boots. You almost always see Tranquil, but he just wants to keep constant pressure up.
Ball lightning in as Era engages. He gets a little bit of extra mana and now commits even deeper onto Pasha, jumping in again and again, dropping the Remnant now. Does get caught by the stun. No one's got the Laguna Blade. No, he doesn't have the mana for it. 2 stick charges. Would it be enough? I think he's just a bit short. He knows it. He needs to hit the stun instead. Get that extra slave off, and he will do so. Securing the kill, but they lost their Phantom Lancer. They now lose their prized Lina. 2 big, beefy cores down. And they only get a Storm out of it. 5-1 the scores. NiP surge into the lead.
Uh-oh. Keeper with only Arcane Boots. He has no
level 6.
HPs.
This is it's a level 2 Lion. It's a level 6 Keeper. Gandalf has no mercy for mortals like you.
Oh, wow. He missed that charge.
Oh, unfortunate for Jonas Fun.
Yeah.
This is a level 6. I'm going to put support in air quotes. Keeper of the Light Bed. Now we see why they first 2 picked. NiP seems to know what they're doing with the hero.
Yeah, he's actually really good at pushing out the carry's lane and making him just take a lot of harass. Because Phantom Lancer doesn't usually invest in HP items. Sometimes they get a bottle, but we've seen a lot of like Yasha or BOT first. And like, what is he supposed to do now? He's at half HP. Does he want to ferry himself over some tangos and hurt his economy even more? Does he want to take the risk of dying because he's only at 300 HP? Does he want to buy like an early ring, maybe build a Vlad's later, which is not ideal for him?
We do not see that build really at all nowadays.
But I mean, now he's at half HP. He can die very easily. 1 more Keeper Blast.
Perhaps an adjustment is in order. The Seal Kid channels the Illuminate. Pasha.
I mean, his adjustment is that he can't farm and that he has to sit back.
So annoying. How do you stop this kind of Keeper harass? Well, Vega, looks like they're smoking.
You generally kill him.
Run at him with like a Spirit Breaker or Tusk or something.
Or just overwhelm him with numbers. Oh my goodness, Handskin.
That used to be a winter wyvern. Now he's just a puddle of ice and sadness. Infinite sadness. Great album. Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. You're a Smashing Pumpkins fan, Ben?
I'm not.
No. Really?
Oh, nice binding.
I can't believe this keeper. Like, this is terrible for the Phantom Lancer. He can't even farm. He's dying.
Well, they're not giving him any support. Visage had a really tough time at the start of the game, and now he's trying to catch up in the bottom. Lion has been running around, but he's really underleveled at this point. So if they try to help, they'll actually just kind of feed him because Keeper does a lot of damage. Level 7 with max Illuminate. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
That's the really good part about the Arcane build. Tranquil is nice for like staying alive, but if you actually want to pressure people and like bring Storm in and while being able to constantly cast Illuminate, then the Arcane build is really good.
Oh, hey, Pasha. Hope you enjoyed your creeps. You've now lost over half your health.
So now he has to invest in a bottle. He's at 200 HP. Even if he bottles up, he won't be like that full on HP, and he is just constantly forced to go inefficient builds, TP, and farm inefficiently because of this Keeper Light that is just a complete nuisance.
Spamming lances on creeps just so that he can get some mana back from the bottle charge. I mean,
yeah. Well,
this
now
is not ideal.
see, Vega has responded. They have placed an Observer Ward in the lane that has, I think
it's out of range.
Yeah, I think it's out of range too. But he's still like he's still taking a lot of damage.
There's a Walrus Punch. He's dead, I think. Shards come out. Do they want to commit for this? No, Jonas some fun. Playing it safe now. He snowballs through. Give him the old uppercut. Kapow! Ends up taking him down easily. And forces a 4-hero rotation. They all immediately tank and illuminate. Fortunately, Mag already has a mech. Almost killed off 2 heroes with that thing.
That's a 5-man top to stop a dual pressure lane.
And they didn't really stop anything. Seal Kid's still going. He's still pushing the lane out, still farming and pounding away at the creeps. And all the while, Era just AFK bottom, Shadow Fiend just free farming mid. They are. It feels like Keeper of the Light and the Tusk are making this a 2v5.
NiP goes mid and gets raised, almost double raised.
This is just brutal. He can't enter a lane, Ben.
They need Lina to kill people, but it's hard to
buy a smoke, or what's the plan?
They just need to run around a little bit more. They have good vision on top lane. They actually dumped 2 sentries on top, expecting that they had vision. So just
you know what? Because they just missed this D ward, so
yep.
They thought it was further down the lane, like over thereabouts.
Yeah, it's
even I think they even thought it might.
Oh, they smoked with Lion and the PL.
Uh-oh. Level 3 Lion at 10 minutes.
Who do they kill?
This could go very poorly.
I don't think they can kill Storm because he's just gonna get Cold Embrace. They can kill Winter Wyvern, but Lion's gonna die for it.
Uh-oh. And Skin getting hexed up to start the fight. Era just watching this.
Yeah.
I think expecting there were more heroes. And there was a 3rd rotation as no one joins the lane. Meanwhile, Visage, it looks like it's his job to hunt the Keeper. Like, get the hell out of my lane, you crotchety old man. Drops the blinding light, but Familiars continue to do damage through that. Meanwhile, in the river, Jonas Simfon slaying Sioma the Slayer. Slayer has become the slain. But they do have a fast medallion on the Visage here, Ben. Be looking for that Roshan as Pasha. Doppelgangers. Oh, doesn't really move very far with that one. And Jonas Simfon waits in position, has a Walrus Punch, doesn't even need it. Another death for our just miserable Phantom Lancer. 1 and 4 at 12 minutes. His net worth, bottom 4.
Darkseer's getting a lot of farm. Ideally, you'd want to switch farm priority, like give some to Phantom Lancer.
They're trying
and
to. Like, they put him in every lane now, right? You know, he goes top, he goes mid, he goes bottom.
You go jungle.
All right. Well, I guess maybe you do get the Vlad. Then he's just getting stats. Picks up his completed magic wand. Another circlet just for the plus HP. As Era connects on a tier 1 bottom at the same time. Tier 1 top secured by the dire side. We'll see a snowball in from Jonas Simfon. And forces the PL to doppelganger out again. So he's under the gun.
It's really important that they killed Keeper on top, though, because he was just constantly pressuring that lane, and he was on track to probably get like a sub 20-minute Ags plus Arcane boost, which is obviously really bad for...
Sioma, how dare you get aggressive, says Era. Jumps in, Jonas Simfon still alive here, finishes him off with the Walrus Punch. A quick 2-hero grab on the bottom lane, and They'll just go right into a drums. Not your everyday Tusk build. Gets the phase drums. A Shadow Fiend hunts for the courier mid. He may pay for this. Quickly channels the Requiem. Another raise. Another auto tech does make the best of it. Gets Mag. Now the Illuminate. Gandalf's a coming. Everybody gets wiped. 4 heroes down. You know, some fun. Still even holding on to the Walrus Punch.
That was a big mistake by Solo. He didn't stun the Shadow Fiend with the gargoyles. I'm pretty sure that he could have at that point, and then they would have tanked half a Requiem instead of 1.5, which would have let PL live and probably their tower.
I'm not sure if you saw him channeling the ult.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you can hear it though.
Yeah. It seemed like either he just didn't micro, or maybe he didn't notice until a bit too
They might have been on cooldown from top, but I highly doubt it. But that was a very smart play from the Shadow Fiend to instantly start channeling Requiem. He's like, I'm going to die anyways. I'm just going to get as much damage as I can before I die.
And great rotation. Seal Kid with the quick TP into the mid lane and able to turn things around. So Vega do have their medallion now. Do you see them being able to sneak a Roche anytime soon?
Highly doubt it. It's really tough versus Tusk because he has a Sigil. Very tough versus Storm Spirit. Very tough versus Winter Wyvern. All of these heroes are really good around the pit. But at the same time, if they don't do it now, they're going to have to fight into a Keeper Ags at some point, probably next daytime, and that makes things even harder for them. Shadow Fiend has a mech, so I expect them to stay around that area, so they pretty much discount the possibility of a sneaky Roshan.
So NiP, they're going to get their mech. They'll have the Ags on the Coddle. What's your play at that point? Are you split pushing? Are you 5-manning?
Do they want to catch Vega or Solo in the smoke? That's kind of weird. They like smoked 3 heroes. I think he was like maybe 100 or 200 range. At this point, you just get a lot of farm with Storm Spirit. You recall and get some big team fights in. Because Vega's super under farm. Lion's still level 5. You can still pick on him for a little bit. Your most farm hero is probably Darkseer, which is not that big of a deal. Just don't get caught by a huge wall. Lena's actually decently farmed, but she doesn't even have her Yules yet, so it's a good time for you to fight.
About to break. The Lance will miss on Era, and PL gets dragged in by the Phantom Rush very far forward. Hanskin will be the first man to drop. Limp dodging away from these familiars. Got to be careful, though. Laguna committed. Popping the mech still gets blown up by a follow-up solo assumption, and this time, mercifully, Vega will dodge that Illuminate. Could have been a 4-hero smack, but they get the 2 kills. Looks like they live to tell the tale, and they may even rotate here and push that bottom lane.
It's going to be a lot more difficult once Winter Wyvern hits level 6. That play, like Winter Wyvern probably gets his ultimate off if he's level 6, and then they just turn around on him with like a channeled Illuminate. That's actually a really decent combo with Winter's Curse plus Illuminate.
Some very underleveled and underfarmed supports here. As some fun runs into the bottom lane. He had to have known there were 5 nearby.
Apparently not.
But I guess not.
Yeah, they're just...
They just planted this ward, so maybe he assumed they left.
I mean, they're just hemorrhaging kills.
Suddenly, look at the graph. Yeah.
3 kills plus the tower.
And that's basically the game back dead even.
All they really need to do is just be together, and then I think they would have been okay. But they're probably waiting for Winter Wyvern level 6 before they start grouping up and fighting. But at the same time, if they just got 1 kill... and just delayed a death with Tusk, I think they would have been able to turn that fight around. But Shadow Fiend was like off by his lonesome. Winter Wyvern died before the real fight started. Era kind of pieced out because he doesn't really have any big items as of yet. And now Lena has her Yule's Scepter. So Vega right back in the game after that smoke. NiP was in a pretty good position, but Winter Wyvern's just a little bit too far behind. They just had the mech. It's daytime. They're about to have their scepter. Like, they were right about to hit their stride. So I don't think this could have come at a better time for Vega.
Yeah, they delay the big timing from NiP here. They will now grab level 6 on the Wyvern, but no one. Looks like the Yule Scepter. Yep, it's complete coming out in the Courier now. So they pick something up. Pasha, he's got an item. Has the drums now. He's catching up, I would say. Still bottom 4, but the actual deficit feels less. And they get their blink on the Darkseer.
I still don't know whether or not that was an intentional leaving Solo out of the smoke, because I think that's part of the reason why they had such a big element of surprise was because
they showed him mid. Yeah. So maybe a last-minute call of, yeah, actually we need to put a little pressure on the map.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional, but they made the best out of an unusual situation.
Well, let's see where NiP go from here. They're about to hit that next timing window.
The Blake on Darkseer is actually really bad for NiP because they can't burst down to Darkseer because he won't be in sight a lot of the time. And the counter initiation is huge for Winter's Curse because they're going to be looking on playing on the offensive from there.
Yeah, they really don't have the best catch here. Storm, no Bloodstone complete, no Orchid.
They really haven't been utilizing recall to great effect at all. They're not split pushing that much. Era hasn't really been able to outpace anyone in terms of farm. Like, he's on par with Darkseer and 1,000 gold behind the Shadow Fiend, even though he hasn't been super involved. Generally, with a Keeper Light, you will have, like, if you're ever low, you just TP home, you get recall back, and there's your full mana pool. So I'm a little surprised he hasn't gone way ahead in terms of farm.
You know, NiP start to congregate now as they have completed that Aghanim Scepter. Putting pressure on Pasha in the top lane. They're going to snowball in. He dodges backward. Shard's also committed. Blink out for Mag. He manages to get himself to safety. But now the Winter's Curse coming through. They start karate chopping Pasha down. The follow-up Illuminate and the raises all there together. Vega getting crushed through a bit by NiP now, trying to keep Pasha alive. Charges in. They even commit a Finger of Death. They will get the Shadow Fiend. Now round 2 as Era re-engages, balling forward, gets hexed up. But they don't have much burst damage left at this point. An additional Remnant bringing down 3, looking for 4. Solo likely to drop as well. Even going to try to grab Pasha, who has no Doppelganger, no drum charges, no escape. And they will end up losing 4, almost 5. Barely able to escape as Solo. That was the big debut of the Staff of Light. And it appears it was a very big pickup.
Now they're actually utilizing the Storm Spear very well, giving him a Chakra and bursting down to Lina before she can do anything. That is the ideal target, especially if the Darkseer ultimate is on cooldown. And that vacuum wall was not as big as I hoped for.
So he TP'd in on top of the shards, then he blinked out because he thought they were going to go on him. And then he tried to run back in, so I feel like he kind of lost that element of surprise.
I mean, even so, the Illuminate plus Mech is it's ridiculous heal.
And they're all pretty tanky here. You've got a Shadow Fiend on 1,400 health, similar for the Storm. The Wyvern about to hit 1,000. Keeper Light 1,200. 1,300 on Jonas and Fawn through the drum, so...
But the fight is so much
very
different.
Difficult to burst.
The fight is so much different once they have Winter's Curse, because that's how Lina just ended up dying and not doing anything in the fight.
Definitely was a good grab there as Era engages onto no one. They get off the Yule Scepter. Snowball going to interrupt the potential combo play, and no one ends up missing his stun. The Lion's there to try and bail them out. Laguna committed on a different hero, Seal Kid instead. So Era continues to fight freely, and now Lib comes in to take out the trash, bringing down Sayoma the Slayer, looking for a bit more. Runs directly into that Darkseer wall. Continues to sprint past. It's a hasted and very angry black-souled man diving towards Pasha. Another ball lightning forward, has no Doppelganger, does have the wand charges, won't even be able to get them off. That Winter's Curse, no! Denied by Meg's Darkseer. In the end.
Wow, that illusion.
I was like, how does he get denied there? Yeah, I guess just the illusion in the end. So, again, the Lina and the PL dying, Ben. It seems to be a recurring trend.
They're just really good at jumping the Lina. Like, she uses Yules and then she gets snowballed. Like, how does she actually kill someone?
It's pretty uncommon nowadays. The 2 biggest cores are 11 out of 20 deaths for Vega. Over half.
Yeah, they're getting kills when it matters. On who, like, on the
ideal targets.
And that's really problematic. Storm has 11 Bloodstone charges. And still, they have like Winter's Curse into Illuminate into Requiem. We haven't even seen all 3 of those executed flawlessly. And even if they get like a decent Winter's Curse with that follow-up, there's no way to recover from that. 5-man vacuum wall into Lion Stun, Lina Stun, but
it sounds amazing.
That's super unlikely.
You got to have the right positioning, the vision advantage. They do have a blink now on Sayoma the Slayer.
Yeah, they have BKB on Shadow Fiend. They have a lot of mana on Storm. If he manages to die in a fight, he just gets recalled back in after his short Bloodstone respawn.
He's going to be difficult to take down. That's for damn sure.
Pretty much has an Aegis at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, it's nighttime, so this is where Vega feel a little bit more comfortable against the Keeper of the Light. You know, that next day is...
But that's what he just used recall, and you just gank people from miles away.
Yeah, it's like you toggle your team mode from, 5-man invincibility death ball to split push smoke Gankarino. And they do hit that switch. Now smoking up. Handskin the man in front. He'll breach into the Dire base. This could be, or rather jungle. This could be the perfect position to grab Pasha, who's now revealed, exposed. The doppelganger's over the cliff, correctly identifying the direction of the gank. Storm's still there, though, and they snowball in. They still manage to grab him, punch him up, knock him down, pull him back, and smack him around a little more. Has another doppelganger dodging again, then charges directly and trying to juke their pants off. But unfortunately, the illusions also die very quickly as the team frantically tries to sneak a Roshan.
Oh god, they have a ward.
There's a ward, and they've been scouted. Vega Squadron. Time to Delta split your way the hell out of there.
They can't take Roche themselves, though, because of the threat of vacuum wall onto a cliff. That's just way too great. And NiP should not take that fight unless they know where Darkseer is or they're fighting like 5v1 or 5v2.
Oh, it's nighttime, but they're feeling confident to 5
It's almost daytime.
That's true. 4 a.m. suddenly. Maybe they even look towards. Do you think they can high ground siege?
It's too
or is it
early.
a bit too early?
The vacuum wall is still a problem, and it's not that far-fetched for them to get the ideal combo off if they're sieging high ground.
If they're at the comfort of their own ramp.
Yep.
So they get a blink now on the Tusk as well.
A jump onto Mag with the help of a ward. And Era looks like he will be
Where you going, buddy?
Kill Mag.
Limp. Don't even need that last phrase. As Era collects yet another kill. Suddenly 13 Bloodstone charges. Continuing to rise. They even get a gem, and this is where the map control really ramps up. Got so much vision from this Keeper of the Light.
This might actually... It would have been a decent time to roast if they were all together, just because Darkseer is down and it's daytime. But they're pretty content with having Phantom Ledger just be super underfarmed. He's less farmed than Visage. He's number 8 out of 10 right now. He can't really do that much else, though. It's not like he's playing poorly. It's
no,
just
like they swapped his lane. They tried to get him the lane ward. They sent supports to the lane. They just couldn't do anything against the Keeper of the Light.
They prioritized too much farm on the Visage. If they really wanted to farm out where they should sacrifice a Visage instead, I feel like, or use the burst to push out. They had too many people trying to occupy their jungle at the start of the game, and that really led to bad impact for Phantom Lancer.
Well, now it is daytime officially, and they are a-pushing. Seal Kid giving them that unobstructed day vision and spamming down any potential waves that might come their way. Oh, actually, a bit off the mark there on that first Illuminate. It's a smoke from Vega, and fortunately, NiP back off the ramp right as Vega engages. Solos, the man in front, has just completed an Aghanim Scepter. This could be a big pickup. They go onto Seal Kid off the bat, take that stupid pony out of the fight. They'll bring the horse down, and now they try to get more, but Sioma the Slayer quickly dealt with by Limp, who is an unstoppable juggernaut in this fight. They just can't scratch his armor. Brings down 3. The squad is out in full force and jumping for more. Era pulling back Pasha, has the doppelganger. Gets it off, but can he make it out? One more auto tech up to high ground. Can't escape in the end. That final blast of the splinters will do him in. A 4-for-1, and that's with the jump on the Keeper Light. They also lose the tower. The gem recovered and held onto by the Iceman. Jonas Fan will grab that. And another death for the PL, who is about to crest into double digits here at the 26th minute.
Winter Wyvern MVP of that fight. He stood to the left, like where that high ground ward is, to pop the smoke, and then he had the Winter's Curse onto Visage, and his birds demolished him. Oh my goodness. I don't think I've seen a Visage drop so quickly.
And he probably had used his medallion as well, so he didn't even have the plus armor.
And now Roche becomes trivial because they have the daytime vision, so...
Look at that. His HP bar just like... suddenly like shoots up.
It's the beauty of the Keeper of the Light.
Oh my god, what a hero. And I love how NiP just have the balls to pick it like first two. They're just, we believe in the Keeper of the Light. We're going to do it. And it's not the first time. And oh, by the way, Era, 16 Bloodstone charges. So what do you do now if you're Vega, Ben? I mean, clearly at this point, the PL is not going to carry. Like if he does, it's because the rest of the team has really come back. Are you just playing for that big wombo combo? Is that your only move here?
Wait for them to make a mistake on high ground, or you catch them off guard with smokes. But there aren't that many good kills right now. Storm Spirit has Aegis, so he's kind of out of the question. Shadow Fiend has BKB, so unless you get a Blink Hex, you're not going to kill him. I don't know. I like most of their smoke ganks I think are going to be pretty big failures unless they smoke for a 5-on-5, which they just tried.
Jumping onto no one here. Single hero stun, and then the curse. Again, the placement from Handskin sets up the easy raise, gets them the kill. Beautiful support execution from NiP here in the clutch as Mag tries to run away, but they keep eyes on him and they beat him down as well. Now hunting for an additional kill. Jumping deeper and deeper is Zera, who's up to 18 Bloodstone charges, looking for number 19. On to Pasha he goes, the shards, that snowball. Full on dive mode. Vega desperately trying to hang on for dear life. Jumping back with the doppelganger. Another ball in. It's a godlike storm and it's GG when not even a tier 3 has been cracked. Vega get massacred. And it looks like NiP is on their way to getting that sweet, sweet revenge that you mentioned, Ben. They may have a shot here to take down Vega and avenge their defeat in ESL's qualifiers.
Tusk and Keeper played out of their mind that game. Like again, it's like the supports that don't really do that much in the first 10 minutes. Just everything just seems to fall apart. The Lion, I think, is just generally a very weak pick that's not very rewarding. He tried to get some things done in mid, but he didn't really accomplish anything at all.
We saw it. We saw it as well in the last series. For those who didn't get to watch, it was 5 Jungs versus what is it?
Empire.
Empire. And Empire picked really weak laning supports or weaker laning cores, and they just got run over.
Yeah, they call them do stuff supports, and they didn't do stuff.
Yeah,
to put it simply.
Or do shit.
Yeah.
If you want to be crass. I appreciate you trying to, you know.
There are kids watching LD.
You know, what can I say? We're not family friendly.
You can say do stuff.
Do stuff.
Do stuff. Do stuff supports.
Okay. Do stuff supports. Excuse me. I apologize. So, guys, we're going to take a break here. Game 2 is coming up next. It's the best of 3 series. NiP now leading 1-0. Stick around. You're watching the Nanyang Championships brought to you by Beyond the Summit. Do stuff.